Welcome to DWI episode 29, fellas. 29 of them things.
29.
You got to understand this. To be in y'all's presence is a presence, so we trying to give you this gift. Without further ado, that's Duve, that's Wax, I'm Illy. We are DWI. So, fellas, I want to get right into it. The weather is changing outside. The weather outside is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Which things, it brings me back to an easier time in life. What y'all motherfuckers remember about school winding down? This is the time of the year where everything starts to make sense.
Yeah.
I took all the tests, the PSAs and all that shit. We got all that hard work out of the way. Everything that's going to happen for the next year is already happened. So you know right now if you're passing or failing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Let me ask you this. Do you remember in May, like right around now, the second, third week of May, where your mind was at?
Just trying to get the fuck out of there so we could get back to hooping or playing football in the street,
Right.
whatever. Like everything was open. Everything, we had to worry about shit. You know what I mean? Like this was the loveliest time of the year back in the day.
Hell yeah. It was like, for me, I hit cruise control. You know what I mean? After I knew I was passing, it was all smooth sailing from here on out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Up until, the next school year or college or whatever it may be. But it was cruise control for your boy.
I'm going to take it back to an easier time. I'm going to say around 8th grade, like my youngest.
Right.
I'm going to put us in that retrospect and say, let's go from that point on. So for me, right around now, shit would have been real mellow either way because, I cared about school, but, it wasn't my first priority as a young person. I was worried about what the fuck was happening when summer was coming.
Right.
So I would have been either in class getting ready to fucking, pray to God that my teachers was working with me so I can see if I can make it to the next grade. Can I talk to you after class?
I take that quiz again.
On some real shit, y'all. It wasn't easy to do. I look at my kids, my daughter and one of my sons, I had never even seen them do homework. I literally never seen them study or crack a book open and they bring home straight A's. And I don't understand how that happens. And it gets me to thinking, you sure y'all's mind?
Nah, what it is the other half kicking in. You know what I mean?
Right. So basically they get it from their mama.
Right,
Okay.
right.
All right. But I swear to you, this was a trying time for me. How you said you was on cruise control because you was all right, I made it to the next grade. Right. And you had no worries about it because you had that militant raising down there. And
there was a few instances where it was in middle school, but after 8th grade, it was pretty much I kind of did what I had to do to a certain extent. You know what I mean? I wasn't getting straight A's or nothing, but.
Well, I'm glad you two motherfuckers had it made because I had to put on a gong show for them teachers. I was down there singing Bubbling Brown Sugar and shit down there, motherfucker. Hell yeah. My work was never done. I felt like a teacher at that point because I'm up here trying to curve my own grade to fit my likings. Now listen, if y'all give me a C, nothing less, then I won't be back. You ain't got to worry about this shit.
Did y'all ever have summer school?
I never did. No.
I had to do that one time.
Was it by choice? Because I can't see
it was because I was stinking up to join math in 7th grade or something like that. I was stinking up to join. I didn't give a shit. So.
Do you remember your math teacher?
I forget which one it was. It might have been Mr. Newman's punk ass.
I was just getting ready to say that. Now, didn't y'all already have some inner turmoil?
Oh, Mr. Newman hated me.
He used to missay your name, your last name on purpose,
on
didn't
purpose. And I correct him every day, and he'd still go right back to it.
Like it was nothing.
Right.
Like you didn't just correct me. He's like I was saying, Richardson. Right. That's fucked up,
man. Oh man, I had detention every day. I'm not even bad. There was actual bad kids that have shot people in my class.
I understand
that was damn near trying to torment me, and I'm the one getting in trouble.
when we did see you in detention, like, cause I was in there, that was a second home to me. Like, I knew for a fact that I wasn't leaving school at 3 o'clock or 3:05, like when the walkers get announced.
Right.
I knew that I had extra detail, and that was to get to room 317, and that was down there in that room, like, shit. Right. So I was a regular. So when we see motherfuckers of your fucking, your cut of your cloth come through, we was like, this is a treat.
Because that was the official detention. That's when you really messed up. Like, I always had detention with, like, teachers.
Class.
Yeah, I'd have to go to Mr. Newman's class. It would be just me and him sitting there being an asshole. I'm just sitting there for, like, 30 minutes.
Playing mental chess with you.
Pretty much.
He was like, I can't wait till tomorrow.
Fucking lurch.
Wax, what about you, man? Like, how was you feeling about, like, the teachers and the curriculum? Do you feel like that there was a couple teachers that had it out for you?
Oh, I know for a fact there was a couple that had it out for me. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't dumb by any means.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And sometimes I wouldn't apply myself, but I would find myself in ISS or you know, not suspension, but detention a lot.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, there was a couple of them that didn't like me and vice versa, you know, but I got through it, and I'm happy to say that, you know, they can, you know,
some of those motherfuckers are dead now, man. They're over here rolling in their grave and shit like, I wish I could have told them to fuck off. This is before motherfuckers start fighting teachers and going through changes. Like, we held our aggression in.
Right.
And I feel like it's not about having a healthy a mentality or a healthy way of thinking. It's about your consciousness and if you're willing to listen to it.
Right.
That's what it boils down to, bruh. Because we all have an inner voice that says, don't do it. Mm-hmm. But we fail to listen to it in every sense of being a human. And that's what gets us into fucking trouble. People want to delve into mental health, and there's a topic that we're going to bring up later on in the show that I want to cover. And you said something about it, you know, as far as the gentleman in question, the CTE. And you said, I don't know if I want to accredit all of his attributes that he's doing nowadays to the CTE element of his lifestyle pre where he's at now.
right.
So what I will address is that, yes, I do believe in mental health awareness, but you can't attribute everything that you do in life to that.
Yeah, you can't use it as like a scapegoat.
You do, and people do that.
Mm-hmm.
I told her I was crazy. Like, what? If you would have been that damn crazy, then you should have sought more help. You know, as far as the brother that's going through the news right now talking about he seeks some help. I mean, who's to say that he didn't?
Right.
But at the same time, you just don't self-evaluate yourself and be like, I'm all good now.
Right.
I'm better. My pimp hand doesn't feel as itchy as it did before now. Like, there's series of shit that you have to go through in order to fucking be deemed back out here being a helping pillar or a working cog in this big rat race we call society.
Yeah.
So, you know, the teachers definitely had it out for your boy. But I want to know, okay, May's going through it, and then graduation comes up for all the motherfuckers that's graduating coming up, but we're still in the 8th grade. So summertime hits, and we are able to be dismissed for the summertime.
Yeah.
You two had birthdays in the summer, which is bullshit. I always wanted a summer birthday, but, you know, I like the notoriety, getting called over the loudspeaker.
It's almost cancer season, y'all.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, we getting ready to take over.
That's the worst time of the year for me.
Yeah, right. That's the best time for everybody else.
I'd rather be snowed in than to celebrate y'all's birthday time. Because there's too many of y'all.
It had its benefits, man. It definitely had its benefits.
Right.
Nigga, it had every benefit.
Yeah, I guess.
Pool parties
I guess.
galore. Y'all actually have, and I can guarantee this. I can guarantee both of y'all had a party at some restaurant somewhere at some point in your life. Mm-hmm. Where was yours?
Shit, McDonald's a lot of the time.
You had a birthday party there?
A couple of them.
What about you?
I never had a birthday party. I ain't gonna lie to you.
See, here, this motherfucker, he always went, look, hey, y'all at home, before they even do any of that shit, Wax, we're gonna need them to do 3 things.
What's that?
Like, click share, and then subscribe. Because as far as I know, Duval, does it cost any money?
Not a damn thing.
So at this point, you're not even spending anything except a click of that button down there. But What I will say is, he's always trying to fucking make somebody feel bad and shit. Y'all better not feel bad for this motherfucker at home talking about he ain't have no party nowhere.
No, I could have had some, but I just didn't want them. I
had homemade cakes for years sometimes.
That's what I had too.
Like homemade cakes. I'm not gonna say they're the worst, but they make you feel like it's kind of underappreciating your birthday and the fact that God gave you to the world on this day. Now, for my mom and a lot of the people at home that didn't have it, that's what's up. At least they thought to make sure that I had a little sweet to knock on my sweet tooth when it was time to.
Right.
But a homemade cake is the equivalency to having a nigger burger. Say I'm wrong. And for those of y'all that don't know what a nigger burger consists of, Wax, can you give me the elements of a nigger burger, please?
Everything that's not McDonald's. You got onions on that bad boy. I mean, and they're not like the nice cut up onions. They're the big joints.
Can you elaborate on the two types of peppers that go in that motherfucker, dude?
Bell peppers.
Okay, and regular pepper. And then you put that sumbitch down. And back in the 80s, there was a little thing called lard or grease.
Right.
And they would throw 3 little dollops of that lard up in there and throw them nigger burgers in there.
And you wasn't going to get it on no regular bun.
Right.
Like, don't think you're getting like a hamburger bun. You're putting that shit on regular bread.
Okay, now let me ask you this. So when you have a nigger burger, that shit got to consist of regular bread because a bun makes that damn near a McDonald's burger. Not to mention we don't have time nor money to go get no buns.
Right.
So you got that big nigger burger sitting on that top of that bun. Is that burger completely cooked through?
I mean, sometimes.
But the majority of the times you gonna find some pink in that son bitch. That's what makes it a nigger burger, like. And then you look in there like, there's real ground beef in here still. That shit is crazy, man. Them damn burgers, man. Them was a delicacy that I wish that I had about 6 of them right now, because I didn't know what I had back then.
You didn't know you was sitting on gold.
But yeah, man, that's what the equivalency to fucking like having a birthday cake made that was out of a box, like a Duncan Hine box. Mm-hmm. So when you have summer birthdays, I can guarantee that you have a party at a restaurant. But this guy over here swears to God that nobody loved him around his birthday. So let me ask y'all this. Do you feel like there was benefits as far as just being able to relax on your birthday opposed to getting up and having to do schoolwork or homework during the year, the regular school year?
Oh, it was the shit. Like, you know, you ain't have to do nothing, just get up.
Did it feel like an event, like a major event was happening?
I mean, I've never been one to really go crazy for my birthday. So.
That's because you grew up Muslim in a fucking in a Nazi household. But go ahead.
I just never really, you know what I mean? Like, it's always just been a day for me. But I mean, it's cool. You know what I mean? I definitely, you know what I mean, like to have fun and celebrate on it. But like, it's never been like where I'm like, I gotta do this, and gotta go out and gotta all of that shit.
Yeah. For me, it was an event. Like, I felt like it was another holiday.
You know? Yeah. Like, had that motherfucker out there.
Right. I mean, that was just in my eyes.
Me
because
too, bro.
Everybody else was like, it's another day. You know what I mean? But I treated it like it was a holiday.
As you should have, because it is. It's the day that God gave me to y'all.
Right.
So here y'all go. Let's celebrate this. Then we got little baby Farrakhan over here, not wanting to even acknowledge his birthday, man. You are callous when
It's
it comes
just
to
the fact that like I didn't have a lot of family, so that's why I didn't have parties, because I didn't have a lot of family.
I got you.
It was just me, my mom, and my sister. You know what I mean? Like, so I ain't want to risk nobody coming. It's like, shit, if I have a party, it'd be just me and my sisters.
We would have came me and Wax.
Yeah, I don't know.
We would have until you would have started bullying us.
I mean, like maybe later on, but like when I was young, we wasn't even all cool like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got cool,
But I mean,
cool later on.
If you would have invited me, I definitely
Right.
would have showed up. I mean, especially because you're my July brother. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
definitely would have showed up. But like, I don't know. I always treated like the 4th like it was part of my birthday.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's the
'Cause
celebration along.
Yeah. Fireworks, hot dogs on the grill, burgers and shit. Like, it was lit.
Right.
If I wanted to do that shit, I'd have to celebrate Yom Kippur or you use my birthday to celebrate with Columbus's leaving ass.
See, mine was Canada Day. Like July 1st is Canada Day.
What the fuck does that mean? I knew you was an operative for Drake.
Fuck, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it was lit though. July 1st. It was lit.
Drake's gonna come out the woodwork like, I knew it, Wax. You're a part of my team.
That's my nigga.
That's with a hard R.
Yeah.
You're a beast.
That's my nigga. What about the last day of 8th grade though? Having to worry about getting home safe.
Right.
Do you think the people at home remember initiations?
They better. Shit, I know that shit's scarred me. Like I had to make it home. Like like the end of 8th grade was like if you didn't make it home safe, you was getting punched on.
Yes.
By like the upperclassmen.
And the thing about it is I had tremendous speed, so I knew for a fact that I was going to make it home safe as a kitten.
But you was a shit talker too.
Yeah.
So you had them all like me. You know, I mean, I stayed to the side, so I just walked through the alleys, looking left and right, like I made it. I'm good.
Right.
You had the wolves on your back.
They was waiting.
I know they
And
were.
then here's the kicker. I was talking to Mr. Potter outside, and they was all standing behind him, and they wouldn't touch me. And then he's like, what's wrong, Phil? And I was like, and he turns around and he sees him. He grabs me by the nose and he's like, good luck. And starts walking, and I'm like, good luck? What the fuck does that mean? And you're out of my jurisdiction, man.
Right. You was painting targets on yourself, man. Like
Bruh,
I swear.
I wanted to make sure that I had top flight speed just so I could talk that shit and just go ahead. I'm like, man.
Bruh, you had like seniors looking for you and shit.
I understand
you know what I'm
that,
saying?
man.
And we were just about to be in high school. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Who all chased you? Who'd you get chased by?
Who didn't I get chased by, man? I will say this. I didn't get caught until I walked back up on 7th Avenue, and them motherfuckers was all sitting around waiting. And I thought that once the school part of it was over, it was done. But I fucking swear on everything I love, back in 1992/93, that's when the term on site came into effect.
Right.
Because I walked around that fucking corner of fucking City Market and looked straight, and it was a group of motherfucking upperclassmen, and I'm like, shit. It was almost like I walked right into their arms and shit. I'm like,
In their clutches.
hell yeah. And I couldn't move, I couldn't run, so I'm like, So Big Zeke, that motherfucker, I did something and shit. I think I like slapped him in the face and shit. That motherfucker grabbed me around the throat and picked me up and shit like this and shit. I was kicking my feet. Man, I got down, parted through them motherfuckers like the Red Sea, and turned around, was like, fuck y'all, and took off. Like I was a fast motherfucker, and that's what like accredited to that. I mean, granted, I knew I could rumble, but them motherfuckers was upperclassmen. They had the fucking advantage. So, and there was a group of those motherfuckers.
I know I didn't get it like you did. I mean, I only had to duck like 2 or 3 people.
But to be honest,
a whole gang after you.
they didn't get me, and I pretty much survived the whole summer. So when I did get to high school, I sat at the upperclassmen table.
Yeah,
Y'all
true,
remember that?
True. Yeah.
I was sitting up in that motherfucker like, look, cheer, man. The only freshman that was invited to the upper class table, which was a dope experience because I seen a lot of shit happen. That's a table that you just keep your mouth closed and your eyes open,
right,
and you might learn some shit. But yeah, man. So let me ask y'all this. Do y'all remember a point in time where you know that there's going to be a Kennywood trip or a Cedar Point trip throughout the summertime?
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But until that trip comes, we got the Beaver Falls wave pool in full fucking effect.
Right.
Skip running around with her ass doing her thing. Do y'all remember Skip?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That was the meanest fucking lifeguard that ever fucking patrolled the guard of the pool, but she made sure nobody died on her watch. Like, you ain't died on my watch.
Skip had to have been 150.
She was 109 when she
yeah,
worked
like that, which is crazy within itself, but
do you remember Skip being able to swim against the waves and make it out? I'm like, sorry, Skip's the only person I know that what the undercage looks like inside.
Mm-hmm. Skip taught me how to swim.
Skip got sucked under and shit and made it, was in that cage, fucking stuck like a mermaid and fucking made it out. She was a bad piece, man.
Yeah, the wave pool was dope, man. We need that back, man.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
it's just sitting up there.
Our boys trying to get it up and running again, man.
Right.
And like we've been showing support, so we need the city to come through,
right?
And grant those wishes, man, because like that's what we need. Like we need a pool right now,
right?
It wouldn't be a bad idea, man. To have the kids have somewhere to go to,
right? So they can experience what we did.
Let's just come together and figure something out.
I mean, we do have to try to invest and make something happen.
Right.
Because that was a great experience for our childhood to be able to recap on this.
It was.
Sir.
You go up there, them pretzels, them dogs, renting those green rafts, sitting in the pool, seeing your crush run around with a bathing suit on, like, son of a bitch, is she bad?
Right.
Like, that is life.
Right.
To be able to run around with your boys, man, and talk shit, go up there. You definitely got to wear a fresh pair of kicks up there. I don't give a fuck what you got on outfit-wise, but you got to have a fresh pair of kicks because ain't no telling who's up there on standby.
I was wearing my grass cutting specials up there. Like, I was not fucking around.
The ones that are tied too tight, the side stitching.
I wasn't wearing nothing flashy up there because you might go back to the damn locker room and it not be there.
Man, I had that fucking key though, bro. I had them some bitches under lock, but I do remember a couple lockers getting popped back in the day.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I would sport like just some regular shorts, like a wife beater or a t-shirt or something, and my grass cutting specials, right, and call it a day.
Right.
See, but go ahead, dude.
No, I'm just saying, right, man. So shout out Ziggs. Hopefully we can get that shit back up.
Yeah, man.
So let me ask y'all this. Do y'all remember the pool, then you're being able to, like, you had to get out of the pool for a certain allotment of time so they can get in there. I don't even know if it was adult swim, but I did see lifeguards jumping in. That gave you a time to fraternize with the little biddies. That's when I dried off, put my socks back on. Back then it was like a pair of Air Forces, you know what I mean, running them motherfuckers through the mud, going through changes and shit, making sure that them some bitches is clean as fuck.
Right.
Razzle dazzling, and then going back over, getting a raft and jumping back in the water and having a grand old time.
Yeah. That was like the time, like whenever they would kick all the kids out of the pool, like it was time to go to the concession stand.
That's what it's all about.
You know what I mean? Go get you something to eat real quick, post up, crack up with your boys, talk about what's going on after the pool. Like, it was lit up there, man. It was lit.
Don't let nobody have a party or a barbecue on the way home. See, and that's why I always wanted to make sure I had on something real proper, like, because ain't no telling what the fuck you gonna run into on the way home.
Right.
That was an event in itself.
We used to walk up there. You know what I mean? Like, these kids nowadays can't even walk nowhere, but we walked up there on a regular.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From downtown, from like the other side where I lived.
And I'm from 2nd Avenue, so imagine me coming up to y'all's crib, then us going from 11th Street up to fucking past Morada.
Yeah.
Up the hill, up the College Hill. Bro. Yeah, it was a journey. But it was worth it because once you got to that pool, you was already hot and sweaty. Mm-hmm. So it's like, shit, let me get in this motherfucking pool.
Yeah.
And that's back when days was 90 degrees. They was pure 90s. Like no fucking humidity or, you know what I mean, all kind of humidity mixed with a little bit of the motherfucking devil sitting up on the sun and shit, waving at everybody. Like that shit was fucking... It was just one of those type of deals like, man, I can't wait. And the sun seemed to hit us right as we're walking up when we passed Geneva College Field.
Right.
It like baked right down there.
Plus.
Now, once you get past D'Angela's Donuts and Pizza Joe's and you're going down to where Sheetz is at now, it got a little bit easier because you're on a straightaway. But walking up that little incline... It almost felt like the sun was nowhere else but in Geneva.
Because there was no trees. It was just
It
was just sun.
There was no shade. And it was a workout walking, but I mean we did it so constantly, we were used to it.
Right.
I feel like that's what structured a lot of our football. Like coming into the sports aspect of it all, we already had some type of agility from that heel, man.
Yeah.
Conditioning's a better word, I guess. But yeah, man, and I can remember walking home, there being some type of barbecue or a party that you got to go to. All the while, Cedar Point's coming up June 23rd, or Kennywood, or back in the day it was Geauga Lake. Y'all remember them white sailor hats that you get to put your name on that motherfucker? Y'all remember how pivotal them some bitches was? Yeah. And don't have a little honeydew,
right?
Because you're getting matching hats.
Hey, let's talk about Kennywood since you brought it up. Like, how live was Kennywood for school picnic? Kennywood was that shit.
I think that was the staple of actually just being a young motherfucker in Western PA.
Right.
Having a place to go to like Kennywood, the motherfucking arcade itself, before we even hit one roller coaster.
Oh man.
Was an event in itself.
What was you playing?
I was playing that boxing game.
Shit, I was on. Give me that NBA Jam.
Give me that Jam.
There was lines for that shit.
There was. Man. That's why I was over there playing that boxing game. I wanted to play immediately. I didn't want to sit around waiting like how everybody else was. Like, fuck. Because you had 4 motherfuckers staying on and shit.
Right.
Yeah. At least 2 out of the 4.
I was about to say, it was, for me, it was NBA Jam and maybe The Simpsons. Because I used to rock out with that shit too.
Mortal Kombat was
I was just about to ask you. I wasn't good at the arcade version.
Right. I mean, nobody was really that good, but it was just fun to play because it was it looked like nothing that ever we saw before. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Do y'all remember the boxing game though?
Yeah.
Body blow, and it was a big green silhouette.
It was Punch Out. It was Punch Out, but it wasn't Mike Tyson.
I know what you can on camera. Can I tell them what you're getting ready to think about? Yeah. That game with the red and white karate fighter guy.
No, close.
Okay.
Close. But Run and Gun.
Run and Gun was the shit.
No, it was a basketball game where they'd come down and just yoke on everything. You don't remember that shit?
Nah.
It was like 2 different screens. Like one screen was over here, one screen was over there, but you were playing against each other.
Yeah.
That shit
I can't remember.
You could like double clutch. It was like the first time you could really like double clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Oh shit, go ahead. Let me see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Damn, bruh.
This shit was one of the dopest games. Look at that.
Damn, I forgot about this shit.
For like
2-minute quarters, bruh.
Yeah, and like it looked better than a lot of games at that point.
Yeah, because we had double dribble at the crib, and this was the
double dribble.
Right. I can't believe you found that shit, bruh.
Yeah,
that is amazing, man. Do y'all remember that game? It was at Jay's News too. It was what was it, American Karate or that it was a karate game with the red and the white guy. I think it's called Karate Champ.
Yeah, I think I got it right here.
Man, pull that shit up.
Is that it?
Yep. Oh shit, that's it.
He just punched him in the nuts.
Now you got to remember, this was the Karate Kid time. This was around the time when the Karate Kid was huge. So to be able to fight in this type of style, right, it almost had me feel like I was in Miyagi though.
Right.
Our childhood was lit, man.
What was your favorite game, Wax?
Shit, I had 1,000 of them. But you mean like
arcade game?
Man, I can't just pick one. But I like for time's sake, I'm gonna say probably Double Dragon.
Fuck. Why didn't I remember that shit, man?
Shit was lit. Double Dragon was like one of the first fighting games I was actually halfway decent at.
I can remember the graphics looked like it was like 60 times better than any fighting game that I ever seen. When the intro came on and then you got 2 of the motherfuckers out there banging. Mm-hmm. That's back when the co-op was a brand new thing.
Right.
Yeah. Like, and the wild shit is like their worlds was nothing but bad guys. So it was like walking like downtown Detroit or some shit. Like,
right.
Where you had to fight everybody.
Right.
Oh
pick
shit!
Up bats. Like, remember you could pick up bats and shit.
Kneeing motherfuckers in the head, throwing them over ledges. And the fact of it is just like them motherfuckers actually died in the game and shit. Like they never came back. They didn't repopulate like the other games did.
Bitches with the whips. I used to hate them motherfuckers.
There wasn't a speck of blood either.
But no, this was NES, bruh.
With no blood.
Nintendo wasn't having that shit, but I tell you this shit, them bitches was built Them damn fucking 3-bit built bitches was fucking right. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm like, how the fuck are they even making that shit crack off like that? Let that motherfucker crack you with that whip, bruh.
Oh, it was over.
It was a wrap, and then it takes so many of them little blue points down at the bottom, them little fucking energy joints.
And then you fuck around and get that whip in your hand.
And go fucking ham. That shit was a motherfucker.
There elbows in there.
Now, let me ask y'all this. Do y'all remember that WrestleMania game?
Yeah.
When you could be Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant. That's back when wrestling was at its top, at its highest peak.
For us.
For us.
For us, yeah.
It was an American phenom, if you will. I mean, that was a major part of our fucking growing up in our history, man.
Facts.
And to be able to go down to the arcade with a fucking pocket full of quarters, turn them some bitches into tokens and get busy down there, bruh. It was a delicacy, man. It was a thing to be treasured. This is exactly what I'm talking about, man. You got all your legends in one fucking spot.
Hawk and Animal,
Right.
Ultimate Warrior.
Jake the Snake.
Yeah. Macho Man.
Bruh, this was as real as life got to me, man, back then. If everything was in alignment and I had good grades, which was a very rare, but if I had everything in order and I got $10 to go downtown and get them tokens situated, it's over.
I remember cussing your partner out because he wouldn't fucking tag you in, right? Like, damn, nigga, come on.
He'd just be over there. All you see is this shit. Him getting his ass beat and shit.
Trying to do it all. Like, man, get me. I'm over here.
And then y'all both lose.
He wanted all the glory.
Right.
Hell yeah, man. That shit right there to me was a fucking treasure, man. Arcades back then was to be treasured because they was the segue in between the roller coasters.
Right.
You knew there was gonna be hella time waiting in that line to ride the fucking Jackrabbit.
I was gonna say, Kennywood was like a special event within itself.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You had to have your outfit picked out, new shoes. Like you link up with your friends who's all riding on the bus, or if you guys are riding on the bus, or going with somebody's parent, or some shit. It was lit. Like that whole process was so much fun, man. And it was nostalgic. Like I wish we had something like that as adults.
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of like at that whole time period. Mom, can Johnny stay? Well, we're going to Kennywood in the morning anyway. So you start that bitch Friday.
Right.
That motherfucking sleepover is lit. Y'all go to the motherfucking theme park. That bitch is lit. Y'all eat or find a restaurant on the way home. Bruh, you're in hog heaven.
Right. That was so much fun.
With a pocket full of money. For some reason, the malls would bless you with a nice little bit of change.
Hey, I remember I thought $20. I thought I was rich.
It was
$20.
Because you can buy a fry for $1.50 that was as big as your fucking head.
You couldn't tell me shit. You couldn't tell me I wasn't paid with $20.
Understand this: the magnitude of that whole moment is something to treasure so much, and so that the reiteration that we're doing, bringing that shit back, it's a disservice, like you said, that we can't do it as an adult. The only thing changes it is the process of life that we're in. Everybody wouldn't see it the same way. Right. They couldn't enjoy it the way that it was meant to be enjoyed like we did back then.
Right.
The outfit, like this motherfucker was talking about. You bought brand new shoes just to fuck up on the log jammer. Y'all remember what that? I mean, you had to have your feet positioned a certain way just so them bitches don't get wet.
Right.
But you gotta ride it because it's 95 degrees out there. That's the only way you're cooling off.
Right.
Man, that water was disgusting.
It was treacherous.
But you didn't care.
It was acid rainwater from back in the 80s. It was all fucking just stored in there.
That shit had all kind of amoebas and shit in there, man. Like,
with every dunk, there's a chance you can get malaria. Like, going down that bitch. But we did it and loved it. And then the key to it was just to make it to where the sun starts to settle down. If you can manage to do that, some bitch, and then ride those roller coasters to where the fucking sun dances across the sky, if you can do that, you're in there like swim gear. Bruh, if you can make it to about 6:30, 7 o'clock without passing out, and I'm talking about like complete from heat exhaustion, to ride those roller coasters with that cool wind zipping on those wooden ass roller coasters that we had here in Pittsburgh.
Do you guys remember like meeting at the high school just to hop on the bus?
Bruh, that bus ride was lit.
Where you was gonna sit. Like, I know I used to get excited whenever we'd be like close to like WDWI, like that building close to Pittsburgh. Like that was like, I don't know if it was like halfway or anything.
It was a landmark for you.
It definitely was. That like golden building with all the windows.
Right.
That shit, like that's when the excitement really kicked in. Like we're almost there.
Right.
Like,
you know what is kind of, I'm not going to say counterproductive, but I can say it now as an adult.
what's that?
Rosa Parks did all that, or whoever was the first lady or person that sat on the front of the bus. They did all that. You know, she wasn't spent the night in jail because she didn't want to get up. But then we turn right back around and make the back of the bus the most lit place that you could ever sit in.
Right.
And you know why? Because all the parents and guardians and shit sat at the front. So if you was cool, you was moving to the back. So
Is that what it was?
I mean, that's what I think it was.
Because, I mean, the night that she spent in jail, and she was alive when we was doing that shit. She was, I mean, it ain't even about her turning in her grave at that point. She just looking like, never again. Never again am I going to sit a night in jail for you motherfuckers. Because we all adapted to the back of the bus as our fucking space to occupy.
That shit, that was where we could be demons.
Oh my
You know
God,
what I mean?
there was all type of shit happening back there and shit, man. And it's just to credit to our childhood. Just to be able to have that type of lifestyle. And like we was talking about, those Kennywood trips. Now, let's go. Do y'all remember Conneaut Lake? Why was that a thing when we had Kennywood?
Right.
It was further away, Ligonier, and then out in Ligonier or something like that. Something real crazy.
Right.
And it didn't have too many roller coasters.
And like, I remember for a few years, that was where our picnic was.
It was the school picnic.
I hated that shit. I'm like, man, why are we here?
Bruh, it
when
was
Kennywood is a place we can go.
Hell yeah. It's close. They got a lot of shit happening. Now, back in the 90s, there was a lot of gang activity going on, but...
Especially during Juneteenth.
And that's right around the time when, like, shit was popping for everybody.
African American Day.
Yeah.
It was popping.
Nigga Day. That's what that shit was. It was Nigga Day.
It was popping up there, though. Remember Mary J. Blige was up there before she really popped off? Y'all remember that?
Did you go up there? Mm-hmm. I wasn't allowed up there.
Yeah, I went up there for that. I remember seeing, I ain't gonna say his name, but from Beaver Falls. Rest in peace.
I know what you...
But this man was running around with a machete. I ain't gonna say who it was, but this man was running around the park with a machete.
So they was there, they knew who it was.
And a Jason mask. And we all knew who it was because he was the biggest, strongest, fastest nigga in town.
Right.
So it was a wild time with him. I'm like, that's him.
Right.
Running around with a machete.
Did he have it the whole time he was there?
Probably. I don't know where he would have got it.
I'm talking about was he able to go home with it?
I don't know, because I didn't hang around niggas with machetes that often, so I didn't. I got the fuck out of Dodge.
Right. Shit, machete.
Right.
That
was before they was, you know, I mean, he probably was the reason why they started frisking people and
putting
metal detectors. Yeah. He was in there wild out. I don't think he got nobody with it or nothing, but
just the fact
to have him there.
Yeah, chasing somebody like in broad daylight.
That was beautiful.
Wow.
Now, we had Conneaut. The school picnic was at Conneaut, but Kennywood was right there. Then they opened up a park called Geauga Lake.
Geauga Lake was dope, though.
It was dope, but do y'all remember having school picnics in Geauga Lake?
Not really. I mean, I remember we had the...
it was something there. Was it our 8th grade graduation?
It was a senior trip, or the senior little event.
Yeah.
For high school or 8th grade?
It was for high school.
High school. Yeah, it was. It was high school.
Now, Geauga Lake is come and gone.
Yeah.
That's a thing in the past. All them roller coasters went somewhere to die and shit, like old primes and shit, like, ooh. Like, those some bitches is over.
Geauga Lake looks like, what's that Will Smith movie where he's fighting zombies? What's that shit called?
Legend?
Yeah, it looks like
I Am Legend.
Yeah, that's what Geauga Lake looks like right now.
Desolate?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, I got some videos of it. Like, they show, there's some drone footage. Hold on. Like, there's some footage, like, it's just beat up.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, shit.
Probably dead bodies in there.
Like, take them to Geauga Lake.
Oh, that's old Geauga Lake. But, like, look at it now.
My Lord, it's a turtle.
But our youth was so dope, man. At the time, I didn't know, we would be reflecting on it as much as we do.
No, not at all.
It brings back good memories, though.
We didn't treasure it, Wax.
Yeah, not at the time. But now, we hang on to these memories, and it just brings, like, a good feeling to me.
Right. And I will say this. Oh, shit. Is that Geauga Lake?
That looks like I Am Legend.
That looks like Jim Jones' Death Camp. That looks like Dirty Mike and the boys got to it.
Dirty Mike and the
Hell yeah, like they made that into their own fucking life-size fucking bathhouse.
Yeah, it's bad in there now.
That looks like you got a civilization of people living in that motherfucker, of indigenous Geauga Lakeans.
And I remember they switched it around and turned it into a Six Flags for a little bit. It was actually kind of dope there. They had this dope-ass roller coaster called the X-Flight where you get in it and you lay back, but then as soon as you start to take off, it flips you over. So you're like fucking face down flying and shit.
No, that's crazy.
It was cold, but
that's
like,
crazy.
That shit, they I think Cedar Point bought it and closed it down.
Damn.
Yeah, Cedar Point was like, we're the only ones in town.
That's crazy. They bought the park and closed it down.
Pretty much.
Why didn't they just turn it into like a Cedar Point 2 and just start profiting off both?
You would think, Cedar Point Jr.
So they just fucking close it and then they just got a desolate land, a dump site for bodies.
Pretty much.
Fuck. Oh, they're gonna do all kind of investigation after this shit. Like, I did smell an awkward smell coming out of the old Six Flags.
It was Mr. Geauga.
Hell yeah, it was Henry Geauga. That motherfucker's back there like, I don't. He got shot.
He probably got the mystery machine down there. Like,
he does.
It was Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi. It was Mr. Geauga the whole time.
He took everybody like, you son of a bitches, it was me. Fuck you. But no, that's all about that childhood shit, man. I mean, it was one of those things. But back to that. Then we got Sandusky, Ohio came out with a Cedar Point. Top notch. Now, I didn't know they bought Geauga Lake and shut that Six Flags and shut it down. That's a fucking power move.
Right.
I never knew that happened, bro.
They said there's only one. There's Highlander and shit.
But yeah, that right there puts me in a mind state of just reminiscing. I could do this shit all day long because that was a pivotal moment to where that was a highlight of your fun. Just remembering we had those places to go to and celebrate life.
Right.
Like, that shit was crazy, bruh. Moving forward, back to that shit that we was talking about with the CTE and, you saying that you're not going to allow that person to blame his, condition on the way that he acts. Right. Did you hear about Antonio Brown?
I did. I saw that in the news, like, he's filing for bankruptcy right now.
Now, how much money you think he made in the NFL career, dude?
I think it said something like a little bit more than 80 million.
And you're filing for bankruptcy.
Right.
What, 3 years after?
It could have been 100 million because he fucked it all off when he got cut the last couple times.
Right.
He was supposed to get 30 from the Raiders, and he's supposed to make like maybe 20 or 30 from the Patriots, and got cut. So he's just been like, Antonio Brown's story is like one of the saddest stories. You know what I mean? Like it could have been one of the greatest stories. Like, a dude come from 6th round pick, living from the dirt, worked his way up into being pretty much the best receiver, pound for pound, damn near maybe that ever lived, right. Pound for pound. And then to see him get to that, and then probably not even make it to the Hall of Fame is crazy.
Yeah. He was a guy that I just knew for a fact he was going to be a story to talk about.
Right.
Shit, he was the best receiver the Steelers ever had. Like,
Right.
which is saying a lot, man. Like,
Right.
They had a lot of good receivers,
yeah,
too.
they had Hall of Fame caliber receivers. You know what I mean? A couple Super Bowl champs.
Right.
Like, but to see where he fell now is shameful. It's sad as hell. It's sad as hell, man.
Right.
He should have just stayed with us. He'd have retired a Steeler and probably broke a bunch of records.
Receiving and earning wise.
It probably got him a Super Bowl. Who knows?
Right.
But
Right.
he fucked that off.
I mean, he did get a Super Bowl with the Bucks, but he wasn't making no money.
Right.
He pretty much took scraps to get that shit.
Right.
And we seen how all that ended up.
That motherfucker took his damn shirt and shoulder pads and helmet off.
Fuck y'all.
I said, sheesh.
And like, even if he did file for bankruptcy, it doesn't mean he doesn't have like $1 million, but I mean, it means you don't have what you used to.
Right.
Yeah, it means you owe more. You owe more than you have, and he owes because he's got a whole bunch of lawsuits where he ain't paying people and people suing him, and then he's just getting settlements for assault cases and all of that kind of shit. Remember when he was throwing the shit out the window?
Yeah.
Like he had to pay them people a couple million when he was throwing the chairs out of the window. So all of that shit starts to add up. All of those lawsuits and all of that, all the stupid ass jewelry. He bought like a damn finger, a diamond studded shit to put over his finger. Not even a ring, but like a whole thing over his damn ring finger. It's like, you're a weirdo.
Right.
And his chains look stupid as hell.
Right.
Like I just don't get it, man. But I'm not like I said earlier, I'm not gonna contribute that all to CTE.
Right.
I think
He has to take accountability for his actions.
because like he's using that as a scapegoat, and we don't even know. I mean, it would appear that he has it, but we don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
That's like mental health mixed with like just stunting and
Who's to say that was from the CTE or you're just being a complete buffoon with everything you got going on in your life?
Right,
Right.
man. It's a shame. Like his story is sad. At
I
the end
agree.
of the
Right.
day, it's sad.
And it went from being one of the best stories to being one of the worst.
Right.
And that's crazy.
He was that guy at one point in time, man. And it sucks that he has to be remembered as the guy who had to file. Shit happens.
Right.
I understand life happens, but this didn't have to happen this soon for him if it had to happen at all, I'm sure.
Would y'all take him back?
I was getting ready to ask
for the
that.
Steelers.
No,
I don't know.
I wouldn't.
I don't know.
He's a liability. He gonna fuck around and do some silly shit.
But he has the option to get cut, bruh.
So what?
We're not putting up with that.
But I mean, it would be
For
more,
how good he is,
It would be more of a
liability.
than positivity. You know
I
what
agree.
Because you got to put a couple handlers around him.
But
make
we
sure he's
need a
not wilding out.
receiver, and that motherfucker's already used to the situation in the program. Like Terrell Owens still runs like a 4 or 5, and that motherfucker's older than us, maybe 46, 47. This motherfucker is what, 35, maybe?
Maybe something like that. I wouldn't do it though, because
I don't know.
like he might get in there and you got a young offense. He'll get in there and
Start poisoning them youngsters.
yeah, so it's like and George Pickens. Like I want to see George shine, and he get around Antonio. It might get crazy. So.
I mean, I agree, but I say to each his own. I can't attribute George's attitude and situation to Antonio.
But you still got to protect your assets, and if you putting bad apples next to your good apples, then the good apples are going to turn bad.
I agree.
what
Don't be giving me
Antonio-
that analogy looking down at me. You see
What
your ass?
Antonio Brown could do is go around and talk about where he went wrong, and he would get more money doing that.
Being like an advocator for accountability.
I guess, or just tell a story.
I said an advocate.
But he doesn't really take accountability for anything.
Facts.
Well, he said he could do that, meaning moving forward.
I know, but I can't see him taking accountability. I mean, maybe after he hits rock bottom and shit goes crazy, then he might be able to say like, all right, man, I fucked up. But as for now, he don't really say he fucked up.
He don't think he did.
Right.
Like, which is crazy. I mean, plus, there's too much baggage, like salt and all kind like extra shit, man. Like,
right.
He did have a rocky little situation after his stint away from football.
Right. And I just seen him last night. Le'Veon Bell had a fight. And Le'Veon Bell came out there with a bedazzled Steeler jersey on and had Antonio Brown with him. So I was like, all right, that was cool. I missed them days where it was the killer bees, but those days are over.
yeah.
I feel like, these dudes still have that physicality in them, so they're going to do extreme shit.
Right.
Did he win that fight?
I think he did.
Right. And then they're going to have their partners in crime with them, just because they don't play sports or they both stayed away from the game for whatever reason doesn't mean they're going to be enemies. So, I can see him down there supporting his boy.
Yeah, that's what's up. I mean, I wasn't mad at it. It was, at least Le'Veon acknowledged he should have stuck around.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But, shout out to both of them. Hopefully, Antonio can get his shit right.
I mean, but would he have somewhere to redeem himself is what I'm asking.
I mean, you can always there's always ways to redeem yourself, but not in football, but in life, being a good parent, being a good father,
right,
being a good human, that's the first step. If you don't feel like taking that step, then I don't know.
You're cutthroat, though. So you're not letting him back in the NFL. No means, no way.
How? Why?
He's Antonio Brown.
Exactly. He's fucking cancer.
See y'all's cancers.
We're the good cancers, though.
No, there's no such thing as good cancers. That's like saying we're good shit. There's no such thing as good shit. Like, it's all shit.
Good shit.
But nah, man, moving forward, fellas, that's a situation in itself. And like you said, man, I wish the brother nothing but, prosperity, peace, happiness, and all that other good stuff that comes along with, trying to be a better person. But we will say this. We appreciate you guys coming back on our journey with us as we go through life, recreating some of our history and bringing it to you in such a way and just receiving it. We do need you guys to do us a favor. Tell somebody about the show. Be more interactive and drop a line or two.
Right.
It costs you no money. So we appreciate that. All the love. We thank you. All our fans tuning in already. Subscribe. They're interactive. Mark, keep talking, keep, showing yourself in there in the comments. Everybody else, we love you. Coming back to you same time, same location, different material. Peace.
Peace.